Hi everybody, it's Heather with Diamonds and Dragonflies, and I am here with tech support.
Hey, tech support.
And with Atlas and Rhea. We're here with my second whip and chat since I've came back, and this is part 2 of the road to recovery. I am working on Mojo. I've already done Jojo. Where's the
Mojo Jojo?
Mojo Jojo. This is Mojo. He is one of the Richard Lorenz birds. 3 of them were released on Amazon. I did Jojo last year. I did Skatebird earlier this month, and now I am doing Mojo. So I am down to the end. I've got these 4. I've got 4 squares left. So I'm trying to get this done before midnight on Saturday the 28th so that I can count him as a finish this month. So we'll see how that goes. Tech support is working on kitting up Celestial Sea. He has completed the first box. Oh, it's upside down. He's completed the first box, and it had, what did we say, 79 colors total?
Yes.
So this was the first 45, and now he's going to work on the others in another box just like that. So he's off to the side doing that. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you found us. And if you are returning, welcome back for the chaos. Atlas has taken up his space. He is sitting on my feet underneath the art table, which is typical. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he had to reposition. He was only on one set of toes. He has to be on both. You'll need to make sure you stick around. After I'm done my filming part, there will be a video at the end of Rhea and one of Atlas, so you can get to see them. If you are new to my channel, I am 53 years old now. My husband just had his birthday last Saturday, so a week ago. And we have been together Yes, you did. We've been together for 20 years, coming up on 21 years together. This will be our 20th wedding anniversary this year. So that's kind of exciting. And we have 3 children. The oldest literally had her birthday on Thursday. Samantha, she turned 33. She is autistic and lives in Owings Mills in a residential facility where she has 24/7 care. She functions as that of about a 6-year-old. But she is the Disney fanatic, and the reason why I do all these Disney things and Sesame Street and all of that, because that is her jam. Then we have William, our middle child, the only boy. He is an architect and works in Owings Mills. He was a Virginia Tech grad. And then there is our baby girl, who is 25, and she has a master's degree in clinical psychology, and she works as a therapist in West Virginia. So that is our family if you are new to our channel. So we've been trying to figure out how we were going to work this. If you are part of my Facebook group, a post was put up where you guys can ask questions that you want us to answer during our whip-in chats. And we're going to do that for a while. Plus, we're going to give a health update on my recovery. If you are actually looking at the screen, you'll see that I am diamond painting with my left hand. I am right hand dominant, for those that don't know, but I had occupational therapy today, and my right arm said, F you. So we are doing it left-handed tonight. So one of the other things that we're going to do is we're going to talk about, kind of break down my injury. In last week's whip-in chat, I told you guys, and I talked about, like my perspective and what kind of happened overall. Tonight we're going to start off with talking a little bit about the first 5 days that I was in the hospital. This is from me falling to being discharged from the ICU and put in the ortho tower at the hospital. So tech support is going to do some talking here, and then we're going to answer some of these questions. okay? And then we'll get to some of those next time. So, tech support, can you tell and share with everyone what it was like for you from the moment you heard me fall?
I don't know. I was in the office. At this point, I don't remember if I was playing a game or doing homework.
School had not started yet. And your
Right.
your semester had ended. So you were in between semesters. So you were probably playing a game.
All right. Well, Atlas, I heard him barking. I heard her say she was going downstairs, and then I heard a loud crash, and I figured when she got up in the office, she had knocked something over, or something had just fallen.
Since that is a daily occurrence.
I don't even like going in there because usually there's something on the ground that I need to pick up and put back, and then it'll be on the floor again a couple hours later. And that's with nobody being in there at all now. So I came running. I was hollering her name. She was not answering me. And the stairs are right before the art room. And I happened to glance down, and she was laying at the bottom of the... Bubba, stop. You're moving the camera.
I'm waiting for there to be a crash here. I apologize if the camera is moving. That would be thanks to the woo.
And I saw you laying at the bottom of the stairs, on the floor, partway into the dining room, or I'm sorry, the kitchen. So I came running down the stairs, and I was calling you. You finally responded to me, sort of, and it was obvious as soon as I got downstairs that I needed to call an ambulance. She was asking me questions. I don't know, for those of you who watch football, one of the first things, because I was telling her just not to move no matter what, just to stay in place, that I needed to call an ambulance. And she asked me if she looked like Jaden Daniels. For those of you who know who that is, and don't know who that is, he is the new quarterback for the Washington Commanders. And towards mid-season, he got hit, and basically, at first we thought he had just shattered his arm, because it bent like all weird directions. And it turns out he was lucky, he just dislocated his elbow, but her arm was facing the wrong direction, and so she asked me if she looked like Jaden Daniels. And I looked at her, I was like, I don't know. I was like, just don't move.
Yeah, at this point, I was in so much pain, and I was so cold on the floor that I was desperate to get up off my right side.
Yeah, there was no way she could move, even though she was continuing to try.
And it's like, I felt like I could see where my arm should be, but it wasn't there. And I was just terrified. I didn't know how to put it into words. So that was like, oh my God, does my arm look like Jaden's? You know? I'm like, great. And I had no idea. At that moment, I had no pain in my left hand because I was actively trying to use my left hand to push myself up as he's screaming at me.
Actually, I wasn't screaming.
Well, she was like yelling at me to stop trying to move.
I was forcefully telling her
Yes.
to. But, you know, she's Heather, so she can't hear. So I told her not to move. I ran upstairs, grabbed my cell phone and a blanket. I called 911, told them that my wife had fallen down the stairs and it did not look good. That it was obvious that she had at least some broken bones. They called the ambulance. I put a blanket on her and waited for them to show up. And took forever. But finally they got here. At first I was like, I need to take care of the dogs, but the dogs were in hiding. So when they showed up, and they never came out once until even after they left with her. But they spent a bit of time working on her and realized that it was more than just her one arm being in the wrong direction, and that they needed to start hollering at her to stop moving, because I can't remember the term he used, but he told her that her wrist was
A malformation of the
malform-
distal radius.
and that she needed to stop trying to use it because it was going to make it worse. So at this point, I'm like, okay, so she's broken both of her arms.
Well, at the time they were saying I just dislocated
Yeah,
my shoulder. Yeah, I didn't dislocate it. I just ripped it off altogether. Because my shoulder was only being held together by tissue, muscle. It was no longer attached to my body via bone.
so from there it just got better. I was told they were taking her to
UPMC.
UPMC. So I was trying to gather stuff together, her purse and everything, so I would have it with me. They pulled off. I, got on my shoes, grabbed everything I could that I thought I might need, and flew to UPMC. And sitting there asking over and over where the hell my wife is, because there was an ambulance in the dock waiting because they were moving somebody else out of another ambulance. So I waited some more and still nothing. It's probably been 10 minutes now, and I kind of got angry and went and asked where the hell my wife was. I said I was told that she was being brought here. Why the hell was I not being taken to her room or wherever the hell they had her? The nurse is like, no one by that name is here. And she's like, you might want to try the other hospital. So I called, and sure enough, they took her to a different hospital. So they had me go to the wrong place. Needless to say, I was already angry. So I was a lot more angry when I left.
When I was in the ambulance and they hooked me up to the machines, they realized that my situation was a lot more dire than it was when I was on the floor. And UPMC is not a trauma hospital, but York Hospital is. And so they made the decision that I needed to go to the trauma hospital. Well, I had two paramedics with me an older guy that was more closer to my Kirk and I's age, and then there was a young kid. Well, the kid was the driver. Well, the other guy was in the back with me, and he told him, go tell her husband, grab my coat because I left it in their house, and let her husband know that we're going to York Hospital instead. She needs to be seen by the trauma team. Well, obviously he never conveyed that message.
So I got in the car and I took off like a bat out of hell. And needless to say, I just got angrier. The closer I got to the other hospital. So by the time I got there, it's probably the farthest I've run in God knows how long, that wasn't on the treadmill. Got out of the car, took off running. And of course, I had forgotten that with the shootings that had happened in the hospital, that they had put security and other things into place, metal detectors. And I came storming in, face red.
Probably out of breath.
No, actually I wasn't. I was too angry.
Your adrenaline was pumping.
And so when I started hollering, where the hell's my wife? No, needless to say, a security came and got me. And I told them, I said, look, this isn't going to work because I need to find out where she is. And the one guy that was in charge, me and him started talking briefly, and turns out he was a jarhead as well. And he got the information he needed. He told everyone else to go and stick to the doors, and he started walking and making calls in the hospital, and they finally figured out where she was. And he had calmed me down enough that they didn't think, I guess, that I was going to kill somebody. And they were able to take me to her emergency. So, needless to say, she was pretty out of it. I mean, they had been giving her a lot of different drugs. We were there, I don't even remember. I just think it was like by 2 or something in the morning, maybe 3.
Wow, because it was like around 6-ish when I fell. It was like around 5 or 6 when I fell.
I thought it was earlier than that, but...
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. Diamond Tribe, chime in, because I was on Zoom with the Diamond Tribe when I fell. So, do you guys remember what time it was? I was a little busy falling down the stairs, breaking everything.
So, it basically was then just, waiting, scans, more waiting, blood work. This doesn't look right. This is weird. So, more scans. And then slowly, it started coming in that, she had broken several bones. But they wanted to take a look at her neck because they didn't feel like something was quite right. Come to find out she had, after some more scans, had fractured her or broken her neck, and I can never remember.
C7 to T5.
There you go. So they put her in a collar, which she was not super happy about, but she was high enough that it didn't really matter. Because from this point on, when they said they were finally going to move her, like I said, it was like probably 3 in the morning. They said they were taking her to her hospital room. Well, then all of a sudden, as we're moving, and they put her in the broom closet, as she likes to refer to it. I don't even know. It was just some random room we stopped at on the way. Because someone made the decision to take her to the ICU instead. That there was too much going on, and they wanted her to be under constant supervision. So we stopped in this little room, and I mean, it was tiny, and the guy looked like there was that she talked to that I guess she doesn't even remember. I mean, big, probably like 6'4", 6'5", big old white gray scraggly beard, shaved head. I mean,
maybe that's why I thought
that's like maybe
janitor.
She thought it was the janitor. I don't know. I told her that she was just living under the stairs, and maybe Harry would come and say hi.
I actually remember that. I remember you telling me that.
But we were probably there 30 minutes, and then they got us because they needed to make space for her in the ICU instead. We got up there, and from there it just kind of.
Where did my IV infiltrate? Was that in the ICU? Is that when
Yeah, the one they had put in the emergency room. It infiltrated.
Okay.
And they were trying to flush it, and it wouldn't flush because it was all jacked up. So she decided that, and this is kind of where I stopped paying attention, because I was like, great, she's starting to talk about one of her damn medical shows. But she described some kind of process.
I told him they needed to put in a central line.
Which is what they ended up doing. It was funny, though, because none of the nurses would do it. So we waited for someone. It was probably a good 45 minutes before someone came. And but it was an actual doctor with another doctor. And the one doctor wanted to watch because she had never seen it done. And so...
The trauma hospital is a teaching hospital. So...
And it was kind of funny watching them, because they were like a comedy team while trying to do this. And the other gal's like, don't you need to put on gloves? She's like, yeah, I guess I should, because she is still alive. We're supposed to wear them.
God.
She's like, I'm just so used to not doing it on somebody that's, breathing. Sometimes if we wanted to do it really fast, we, didn't wear gloves when we were, training to do it. But, so they did it. I don't think Heather even noticed.
No. I don't remember noticing anyway.
I mean, she, later on, she had you talked to the tribe yet at this point, or no?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I talked to the tribe while I was in the ICU. Did I?
Yeah, you did, because I remember you telling them what had happened.
Oh, okay.
And then the next day, I remember you telling them what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Literally the exact same thing. And I'm like, Heather, you told them that already.
I was on a lot of drugs, people. A lot of drugs.
So I kind of took over messaging everyone with her phone while they came in. And we kept waiting and asking, when are they going to operate? I mean, I shattered my femur back in kind of 2000, I guess. It was right after I gotten out of the Marine Corps. And I broke it in, I think they said 13, somewhere between 13 to 15 pieces.
Good God.
So they did a rod all the way through, mashed the pieces around it. And, so there you go. So I knew she needed to have this, she was going to have surgery when they told me that the bone had snapped off from the ball joint, and then it was also broken in the middle. I'm like, okay, well, they're going to have to put some type of rod in there so it can heal. And, you know, I keep getting told, yeah, you're going into surgery today. And then we kept not going into surgery. And it's like, what the hell is going on? Well, and then she was in ICU for 3 days. Towards the end of the third day, they're like, yeah, we're moving her. I'm like, okay, what is going on? She still hasn't even had surgery. But they needed the bed, and they felt that she had been doing well enough just laying around with a whole bunch of broken bones, and given a lot of drugs and giving everyone a ration of shit constantly, because she was starting to, I wouldn't say be more coherent. She was just starting to be more in pain, and everything they were giving her was not working. And, you know, she couldn't feed herself. She couldn't do anything.
I couldn't use the toilet by myself.
She couldn't even, you know, she couldn't pick up her phone, nothing. I mean,
couldn't even pick up a drink. Anytime I needed something to drink, either a nurse or Kirk had to come over and hold it and give it to me.
So, so they moved her to, I guess, a regular hospital room.
Yeah, the ortho tower, because
Yeah,
everyone in that area was being followed by the orthopedics.
They had something here broken, snapped, shattered. The worst part is we kept waiting, and I'm not a super aggressive person, but you know, as the days drug on, and I was starting to get upset, and we're trying to figure out, and we keep seeing, and that was the worst part, is since she was being seen by 3 different teams, ortho, trauma, and what was the
neurosurgery.
Neuro. And none of them could get their shit together. And it come to find out that they kept saying she was going to have surgery, but they were putting her on a wait list instead of actually setting up a surgical date for her to go in. So that's why she kept getting bumped, because they just kept, anybody that came in was considered more important to her than her, because they were coming in through emergency, even though she was upstairs with multiple broken bones.
11 days.
And so, 11 days had gone by. We talked to, I guess it was day 9 in the evening. Or was it day 10, I guess, in the evening? The doctor came by. I can't remember his name.
Oh, no, Dr. Annalise?
Yeah.
No, remember they had told me that I was going to have surgery on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
They had come in and told me Christmas Eve that I was going to have surgery on Christmas Day. And then Christmas Day came, and I got bumped not once, not twice, but 3 times. And then they said it's not going to happen today. And, of course, I hadn't had anything to eat all day because, you know, I needed to have an empty stomach to have surgery. And Dr. Annalise came in Christmas night and said, I want to introduce myself, and I want to tell you what's going on and why. And here they had made it seem like this doctor was aware of me this whole time. He heard my name for the first time that day. And he's like, I told them we can't do a standby with you. I need allocated time because you have to have multiple surgeries done at the same time. So he said, I put you on my schedule for New Year's Eve. And I'm like sitting there like, that is a week away. You know, like what the ever loving hell.
Yeah.
And he said that they had to operate within 14 days. I said, you realize that makes 11, right?
Yeah.
So you're running out of time to bump me. And I even got bumped that day. Remember, I was supposed to have surgery at 7:30 in the morning, and it was like almost 3, remember?
Yeah.
They had said like 1:30, and at 2 o'clock I was still in my hospital room. But that was the greatest part, because it wasn't until I was in pre-op that's when we discovered that the whole reason I was sent to the ICU in the beginning was because I had a partially collapsed lung that no one ever told us about.
So, but yeah, and I mean, and of course, I was somewhat worried, and they said that her head was fine, and so it was just a matter of the drugs she was taking, because she kept trying to tell everybody the same stories over again, even though she had talked to them, the day prior, and had no recollection that she had told people all this stuff once, twice, sometimes 3 times. And, but she did not have a concussion. So, needless to say, finally, and through this whole thing, I mean, I'm running back and forth, constantly forgetting all kinds of stuff, because I'm running home to make sure the dogs go out, but they'd be here for a long time by themselves, sometimes 12, 15 hours, because I didn't know whether or not they were going to do something with her, and I'd wait and wait and wait, or we'd be waiting for a doctor, and literally every time I'd leave within 15 minutes, a doctor would show up to talk to her, even though she's high as a kite. It was like I started to swear up and down that they basically waited until I was gone, and then called the doctor and said, "Yeah, she's by herself, so you can come talk to her."
I caught on, though. I started calling you on speakerphone. So he was there, too.
But, so she finally went into surgery, and it was long. And, it's like, this part's done, but, okay, this went great, but now we need to start on, her wrist. It finally, that was taken care of, and, she could at least start healing, and, she didn't just have broken bones in her body that, weren't being treated, that were literally with her humerus in the shoulder, there, they like, oh, here's the x-rays. And I mean, the bones weren't even lined up. I mean, and I'm like, okay, I guarantee that's painful, because I freaking remember. So it was very frustrating, for me, and I definitely probably more than once lost my composure, because I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on and what was taking so long. And that was basically because a lack of information, and them not actually sharing what was being done and what was going on.
I was their longest resident. I was there for 17 days straight.
So, finally she has surgery, and, I mean, it's funny, because, they start having PT and OT come in to work with her, and it's like, okay, she's a freaking, 8 hours post-surgery. You want her to go run around the hospital? So needless to say, we sent them on their way multiple days in a row.
Well, remember when the PT person came in with a walker?
Yeah. Yeah, they had no idea. They brought her walker, and she has 2 broken arms.
And I'm non-weight bearing. So it's like, how exactly am I supposed to grab onto that and walk with it and push it?
And that was probably, I think, the worst thing for me, is I'm expecting these people to know what they're doing, and to have looked at a person's chart when they come in to do things like take blood pressure, or take blood. Because if there was a point where she couldn't have a cuff on, and I mean, they were taking blood out of her foot for a while because they couldn't get blood from either of her arms, and they'd come in and just grab her arms, and I'm like, how do you not fucking, excuse me,
That's okay.
know what is going on? I'm like, you have her chart, and I mean, it's all right there in the computer, which you're currently looking at, and you're still grabbing something that's just been broken and fixed, and it's been a day and a half, and it kept happening constantly, even though,
Well, I mean, it was happening before they even fixed the stuff.
yeah. So, but at that point, even, I mean, I'm still feeding her and whatnot, but she slowly was starting to get up and have chats on Zoom with the tribe, and that way she could talk, because it was getting really bad, because she was feeling, she couldn't do anything for herself. And, I can't just be there and cheer her up. She needed to talk to other people. And I mean, when you can't do anything for yourself, it makes it really hard. And it was extremely bad for her mentally. And, of course, they wouldn't give her, anything to try and help. And I'm pretty sure they had kept you off most of your drugs.
Yeah.
While you were in the hospital. So, I mean, she was all over the place. She would, be upset, crying, and then, angry. So.
Well, and the worst part, my night nurse that I had for 6 days straight, Robert, was amazing. And he was of the mindset that as soon as the time came that I could have pain meds again, he was in there giving them to me. Whereas during the day, they didn't give me pain medication unless I asked for it. Well, they never bothered to tell me that. And they never bothered to tell me how often I could have it. So I was chasing the pain constantly. And no one was taking into consideration the fact that my spine is so messed up and that I don't ever lay on my spine. Well, guys, I've been laying flat on my back for, let's see, we are over 2 months now, 2 months and 8 days by the time this goes up.
Yeah.
That I have been laying on my back to sleep.
Well, and I mean, that was the crazy part is, they're trying to find different ways to, help her. I ended up, finally, we brought in her heating pad from home. And once again, thankfully for the wonderful guy.
Yep, Robert. He's like, I didn't see it. You can put it on.
And so we started using that.
Because they told us I couldn't have it. I couldn't bring in a heating pad.
So we did that, and it made a tremendous difference. But, and as things got further along, she was starting to get punchy because she was tired of being there. They, kept dicking around with her medication, and she didn't want to go, but she wanted to get out of there. And it was, they're like, yeah, okay, well, I'm like, well, I need to go home and take care of some stuff. And here it is. I'm thinking, they're not going to discharge her until the next day. I'm home for like maybe an hour and a half. And they're like, yeah, come pick up your wife. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm supposed to have at least a day or two. And no, I come home trying to get things ready for her, and I instantly, literally the guy came and set up the bed and and stuff, and I was signing for the equipment, I mean, I hadn't even made the bed yet, and I had to go and get her. So it's definitely was not one of the greatest experiences, and that's not as the patient, so I can only imagine. But and thankfully, at least she slept in the bed one night, and she said she was remarkably comfortable. But from that point on, she tried and could not stay in the bed, so we moved her to the couch, and she's kind of been. We have a reclining couch, and she's been sleeping in that ever since she came home, except for the one night. And then she tried like a week later in the bed, and ended up. I'm pretty sure you ended up getting up, and we moved you back to the bed
I had to
or the couch. So, so yeah, I mean it's been crazy. Just trying to keep up with everything, trying to work with my work.
Yeah, that was the best part, because it was the day after President's Day. Well, they informed him on Thursday of that week that as of Tuesday, the 17th, you're no longer getting paid for being off to take care of me. So we're having to deal with that now.
So I started asking questions, and I'm like, well, what can I do? I'm like, she can't take care of herself. I said, I need to make meals for her. I said, I need to help her get dressed. I mean, all of this stuff. I'm like, can I do partial days, or something? And needless to say, I wasn't given a lot of options. Finally, I brought up requesting leave from. One of the things that's nice about the Commonwealth is if you're approved, you can request, and people can donate sick time and leave for you to use from their own balances to take care of someone, or if you're super sick or and whatnot, to be able to take that time off and not worry about losing your job. Because I mean, March 20th is technically my last day of FMLA. But like she said, I mean, I've already stopped getting paid. But with this, hopefully I get approved. I'm waiting to find out. It's, submitted, and I try not to think about it. Because, if it doesn't, then I don't know. There's going to be some stuff that's going to need to be done, since
Atlas will turn tricks on the street.
I will be, not getting paid for the last couple of weeks.
We'll have to start that OnlyFans account with puppy feet. And put Rhea and Atlas.
Only feet, huh?
Only feet. Sorry about that. Because it's not easy for me to check my blood sugar currently with my hands, my wrist doesn't like doing, I can't do it with my left, and I can't do it with my right. So they got a glucose meter that we put on yesterday. We're filming this on Friday for Saturday. So it was Thursday we got the glucose meter to put on, and it does alerts on my phone. Well, yesterday, my sugar was really, really good. Well, they started me, because I can't do the Mounjaro injections, on an oral pill that I'm taking every day now. So I started that today, and I guess it's wreaking havoc with my blood sugar, because it's been all over the place today. So it is constantly alerting me that my blood sugar is over 250. So we're hoping in a day or two of taking the meds, it'll equalize out. If not, I'm going to need to call my endocrinologist on Monday and be like, this thing is going psycho. I don't know. I mean, I literally woke me up at 4 a.m. going off telling me my blood sugar was 320 and I was asleep and had been for hours. So I'm not quite sure why it goes haywire while I'm sleeping. Because it's not like I'm eating any snacks in my sleep. I'm not, you know, sleep cookie.
Maybe you are.
Maybe I am. I'm getting up and I'm eating popsicles and cookies in the middle of the night.
And Whoppers.
And Whoppers. So, Kirk was with me every day. He slept 17 days in the hospital with me. Which I feel so horrible for him and so grateful for me that he did that. Because I don't know that my mental health could have taken it otherwise. We started outpatient occupational therapy this week. I had it Wednesday and today. It's going fairly well so far. I really like my therapist, so that's always a positive thing. Olivia is really great. It's just hard and it hurts. It hurts a lot. She was stretching my shoulder today and we have discovered that my shoulder really does not like doing crossbody. She was bending it like over from my right hand to touch my left shoulder and holy cow, did that hurt. She said, though, that she feels like I'm making steady progress. I mean, I've had 2 sessions, but and I mean, I guess one of the things she means by that is there were a couple exercises I couldn't do more than 5 of on Wednesday that I was able to do the full 10 reps today. So I guess that was good. They're doing a whole 1 pound stationary stretches with my left arm, with my left wrist, using a 1 pound weight. It's such a little baby. I feel like I'm picking up a little chicken drumstick. And then ½ pound on twisting with it. I can't do any weight with my right. No weight is permitted with my right. But I'm doing 1 pound with my left. So, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So, all right, let's switch gears and let's talk about some of these questions. So I have actually read them. I have an advantage over Kirk. I asked him if he wanted me to read them to him. He said no, just surprise me. So here we go. So Monique Nicole Turner Malott. Wow, that's a lot of names. Okay, Kirk, this is a question for you. She asked a question for you and a question for me.
All right.
Kirk, what's the hardest part about being with someone that has a disability?
I mean, are we talking about in general?
I would say in general. I think she's...
you with your arms, or...
Well, let's keep it with my arms for right now. What is the hardest part about... Like, what do you find the most challenging of taking care of me with my current physical situation? I guess I should give the disclaimer. I'm not going to get angry at you for any of your answers, okay? So...
I guess it's just, I guess, the back and forth. I mean, at least when we first got home, like literally multiple times a night, we bought a set of walkies, and she was having to call me to come and help her. And obviously, yes, she needs help, but getting up multiple times through the night can be rather frustrating. So that was really tough, especially in the beginning, which, I mean, I figure, considering I was sleeping on this stupid chair, that every time I woke up in the hospital in the morning, I could barely walk. I guess I should have been thankful I was at least sleeping in a bed. But I guess that's the most challenging. That and trying to, I guess, be on a schedule. Because I have my own schedule, she has her own schedule, and
then Atlas has his own schedule.
yeah,
Ray goes with the flow.
trying to keep up and realize that I need to help her and keep up with her schedule. That's probably, and so I forget mine a lot.
He's been really bad about taking his medication on a regular basis for himself.
I mean, when I was in the hospital, I hadn't taken my medication, I guess, I don't know how long it had been, but a while. And I had AFib, and I hadn't had it in like 2 years. And I had a bout, and it damn near dropped me on my butt. She's looking at me. She's like, "Are you gonna fall over?" And I'm like, I'm having an attack, and it's like, oh wait, I haven't taken my medicine. A week and a half, I think.
Well, and there were times where he'd reach into his pocket to pull out his meds because he had grabbed them when he had gone home to take care of the dogs. Well, he was wearing the same jeans he wore the day before, and he'd pull out and he'd had 2 sets of medications, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I didn't take my meds the other day either." So it's like, oh, lovely. That's just great.
So yeah, that's, I guess, probably the most challenging thing is it's, and everyone makes I'll say a stupid comment or quote that, I can't take care of her if, I can't take care of myself because, I'm not doing the things that I need to do to keep myself going. But sometimes it's not easy, and you just say, screw it, I need to do this instead. And then, you got to make sure it doesn't. I'm going to kill you, Atlas.
Did he just take it out of there again?
Yeah, he took the straw from the milkshake. I mean, he had the whole milkshake on their blanket.
Yeah, while we're sitting here, Atlas is getting into my trash can I have by my side, and he's stealing things out of it and taking off with them.
You're such a butthead.
I guess you're going to have to just sit that up. Put it on top of the table for right now, because he's coming right back for it. Atlas, you're such a joy. Such a joy.
But yeah, I guess so. That's probably the most challenging is making sure you're keeping up with everything for the person you're taking care of, and trying to remember to take care of yourself at the same time. And so I'm not very good at the second part. So hopefully that answers your question.
All right. The question she had for me is, Heather, what is one thing about marriage you find to be difficult?
Marriage?
I was going to say the fact that I can't kill you and actually get away with it. That would be the very difficult. But no, on a serious note. The one thing about marriage that I find to be difficult. Patience. I have none. Just for me, I think with my marriage with Kirk, the most difficult thing for me is accepting and understanding the fact that I can't fix his problems. Of realizing that, just because I want to help him and I want to try to, I don't want to say solve, that's not the right word. I feel I can help, that he's got to do it himself. And I feel that in reverse because I think there are times where, I mean, especially with my injury, where I'm trying to do things one way and he's like trying to tell me that, well, why don't you try and do it this way? And I don't want to hear him any more than he wants to hear me when I say it the same way. And it takes me just then finally doing it myself the way he was suggesting it, that, oh, okay, yeah, you're right, this works a lot better. Kind of thing. So I think that's it, having patience and just knowing that all you can do is be there for each other, support each other, bite your teeth or bite your lip.
Or your tongue?
Yeah, bite your tongue. There you go. That's the right body part. Okay. Bite your tongue. And not say anything when the frustration hits because you feel like you can make it better, but they're not willing to accept your help. So I think that has been one of the hardest things that in the 20 years that we've been together has been the hardest to navigate. It doesn't help either that I have borderline personality disorder, and people with borderline personality disorder want to control every situation because that's the only way they feel safe is if they're in control. Then they don't feel blindsided or anything else. So it's been hard trying to adapt and change that part and realize that, what's that stupid serenity prayer that I can only control the things I can control and the wisdom to know what I can't control?
That's
or something along that line, But, that's kind of where I'm at, that of having to try and figure that out and know that, I can't fix it all. Trust me, because if I could, I wouldn't be diamond painting with my left hand and not have 2 broken arms. Okay. Oh, I like this one. This is from Becky. Becky is a member of the Diamond Tier of the Diamond Tribe. And her question is, if money weren't an object, what would be your dream vacation? Hey!
Sorry.
Did you pause it?
No.
Okay. I will have to edit that part out. Thank you, you two.
Well, and she did that because is coming back over here.
Yeah.
Rhea, go. Cub.
Rhea, cubby.
Go lay down. I mean, her back. Rhea, cub.
Rhea, go lay down.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm very proud, though, that all we had to do was yell and they stopped. So we didn't have a bloodbath on our hands. Okay, so your dream vacation, one that the dogs are not with us.
That's my dream vacation.
No joke, we actually, anytime we go away, even if it's just overnight, the last time we've been away was in, I think it was July. Was it July when we went to the comedy show in Philly? I think it was July.
I think so.
We were gone for 2 days. And the very first thing we said was, no dogs in the bed. So that was like the best part of the whole trip, was the fact that we got to sleep in the bed with no animals with us. So, but seriously, what would be, if money was no object, what would be your dream vacation?
Probably a tour of Asia. I want to go to Hong Kong, Japan, China. There's just so many things that I would love to see. So probably, that. And it's funny because, a lot of times I look at some of these places and I was in the Marine Corps, and sometimes it's like, well, technically you're not really safe in this country, or you shouldn't go here. And I wonder about that. I'm like, you know, I guess obviously if money was no problem and then safety wasn't an issue. But yeah, so I think probably that would be what I would want to do.
I'm literally was sitting here thinking the fact that I wanted to go and tour the Asian countries. The only other place that I would really love to see is Ireland. Emily went on a trip to Europe when she was in high school with her Girl Scout troop. And the way she talked about Ireland and Scotland and the pictures she sent back were just, it's just so green and so plush and so gorgeous that I would love to go and see that as well.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. I mean, there's just so many different places.
I just want to see the world. So, you know, I can't say I've never been out of North America. We'll put it that way. I've been to Canada once when I was 11. I've been to Mexico when I was 15. But other than that, and see, both of those trips were back when you didn't need a passport to go into Mexico or Canada. You just need a birth certificate. So I do not own a passport, which I've been told by all my Canadian Diamond Tribe friends, and now my bestie that lives in Panama too, that I've got to get my passport because she's determined I'm going to come down and visit. And I'm like, okay. So I just have to not have broken arms. All right. Okay. This one is from Addison. Addison is my bestie. And she's, Addison was amazing. She came out and stayed with me for 10 days. We met through the Diamond Tribe. And she is my best friend in the whole world. And she came out and stayed for 10 days and helped take care of me, and to give Kirk a much needed break so that he could focus on schoolwork and getting the house back in order and getting caught up on like laundry and things like that. She asked for both of you, if you were able to move out of your house, what are your absolute must-haves for the new house? And what do you absolutely not want in the new house? Oh, Atlas is on my feet again and he keeps hitting the tripod. Oh, don't look at the screen right now or you're going to get sick. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what are the absolute must-haves? And what must the house absolutely not have? Stairs.
I don't care about that.
No stairs.
For
single
it would
level.
be central heat.
Yes. And central air.
Yeah. I mean, I've always joked, considering how cold it gets in this house, that I wanted heated toilet seats. But I guess if it's warm in the house, that's probably not necessary.
Probably not.
But
yes,
yeah,
I agree with
definitely central air, central heat. I think the central heat would be more important. I mean, I would love to not have to run AC units, but they've never been too bad when we've ran them, unlike the heat.
Yeah.
Which is astronomical. So yeah, definitely.
Our $1,200 electric bills? Yeah, we're not joking. Since I've been home, our heat bill was $1,200 for the month of February. Well, January to February while I was home. So trying to keep it warm enough in here. Because without the heaters that we're running in this room that I'm living in now, it's normally around 38 degrees in here. I mean, even with the heaters running during that cold snap, it was in the 40s.
Yeah.
I woke up quite a few mornings and it was 47 degrees in here.
And that's the sad part, is that this is the warmest room in the house.
Yeah. I would prefer a house that does not, I would prefer a single level house. or at least a house that has the master bedroom is on the first floor. If there's spare bedrooms, they can be upstairs. That's fine. But even without, I mean, I can't do stairs at all right now, but with my back and my spine, I would prefer not having, you know, a multi-level home. Fenced in yard for the animals. What else? Obviously a place that I can use as an art room.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having somewhere where I could actually store my tools.
Yeah, that would be
And,
great. He needs a garage. He needs a really big heated garage.
And that room to work on computers and everything. Because doing it on the floor or a little folding, you know, card table is not the way to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, those would definitely be a special, you know, extra rooms for us to have to be able to do things in storage. But heat is number one. Heat is king.
Yes. 100%. Okay. So two people asked questions that kind of go together. So Kristen asked, how did we meet and fall in love? We want the scoop. And then Melissa, who is a member of the Diamond Tribe, asked, what were your first impressions of each other, both online and when you met in person for the first time? So she kind of answered Kristen's question of how we met. So do you want to tell everybody how we met?
Many years ago, you know, I'd started building myself a new computer, and I decided when I went to the can't even remember the name of the electronics store I went to, but
Radio Shack.
no, I was going to buy, I think, RAM, and I was like, I want a game to play. I don't want to play all this old stuff that I have. And I was perusing the games in the game section, which is weird because it was never something I ever really did. All the games I always played were basically pretty much single player. And I went out on a limb and I was like, okay, I'm going to get like this game that you play with other people online. So I ended up buying a game called Guild Wars, and you know, been playing basically with myself, and then occasionally we would call them pugs, but it's basically stands for pickup groups, where you just a bunch of people are like, hey, you want to go do something, and you're like, sure, and so get together and just run stuff with random people you have no idea who they are. But you know, it doesn't matter because you're sitting behind a screen anyways, and your avatar is, you know, whatever you created. So while playing this game, I met this one guy, and his character was Cloud, and we started running stuff together, and he decided to create a guild, hence the, you know, Guild Wars was the name of the game. We and you could do matches of player versus player, but you obviously needed a certain amount of people. So I don't even know how he knew you or met you, or
We met in a pickup group.
okay. So, but so I had joined his guild, and we were recruiting, and he recruited her, and we all, you know, had just been running stuff together. And I don't even remember why, but one night after everyone had finished up and everyone was going off to bed, and we just started chatting via our characters
Yep.
online. And I don't know, kind of went from there.
Our first date, so to speak, was we took our characters to this mountain cliff where you could
Isn't there like a
overlook.
lake or
Yeah, there was a
something down
lake, and you could overlook the city, and the sun was setting. And we just sat our characters down beside each other, and we just chatted. And we literally talked all night online. That I saw this. He was in California at the time, so I was in Maryland, and I saw the sunrise with him.
So you really saw the
I
sunset
really
and
saw the
rise.
sunrise. I saw it set and rise. And stuff that night. But do you remember the date of that? He should know this because it's my pin for everything.
Yeah, well, I don't want to give that out now that
Yeah,
you said
that's
it's your
true.
pin.
That's
Genius.
true. So I didn't even think about that. Yep. Okay. I
So
ruined
never
that.
mind.
So never mind about that. But so what did you first think of me? Well, a couple of months later, like a month and a half later, he flew out here, and we progressed to talking on the phone, and not just talking online, but talking on the phone. And keep in mind, guys, that this is 2005. iPhones did not exist yet. Okay? So you didn't have... Am I wrong? Because we didn't have iPhones. We had flip phones
Well,
from
wasn't
Nokia.
it 1.7?
Huh?
1.7? Isn't that 17?
That's the day, honey, of the month, not the
Oh,
year.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
we moved into this house in 2017. So we were together.
Did we?
Yes.
I don't know.
We moved in here the day that William graduated high school.
It blurs together.
When did the first iPhone come out? Because I don't think smartphones existed yet. 2007. So yeah, it was 2 years before the first iPhone.
So I mean, when I was in the Marine Corps, I had one of those big ass
Block phones.
block phones that had the huge antenna that came out.
Yeah.
So I mean, they definitely didn't have any type of screen.
So when you flew out here, what were your first impressions of me?
Oh my God, that's like a couple years ago. That's kind of hard to remember. I don't know. I mean, it was weird. It was nerve-wracking. I mean, going to meet someone, that you've talked to online, and that's it. It was, I mean, strange. And like I said, it was nerve-wracking because, I just flew, across the country to meet someone that I've only ever talked to on the phone and online. So, so I don't even know. I don't even know what to say.
I was very nervous. I must have changed my outfit like 20 times. And I finally settled on a black blouse and a denim miniskirt. And I was standing there at the gate, past security, like where the gates emptied out, because of course it was post, 9/11. So you couldn't actually go to the gate of the plane anymore to pick up somebody. And he showed up, and I will be very honest, my very first impression was, are you kidding me? Because he literally looked like he had just rolled out of bed. So he had a shirt and cargo shorts on that were very wrinkled. His hair was kind
I've
of...
been on a plane for hours.
I told you, they were asking what my first impressions were. So I was kind of like, are you kidding me right now? Because I had gone to all this trouble to be all like, dolled up and everything, makeup,
Yes,
mini
I forgot
skirt.
my makeup.
And we got to the car, and we're putting his luggage in my car, and he said that he told me that he had been waiting to do this, and he kissed me for the first time. The electric shock impulses that ran through my body, it was like I was coming home. It was so electric, so amazing, and so comfortable all at the same time.
So that's why guys don't talk about this stuff.
So, and we spent the week together. He was here for about a week. We spent the week together.
She put me up in the murder room.
My God. He stayed at the local hotel. And I guess apparently, unbeknownst to me, there had been some crimes committed there. And he found out that he was staying in a room where a murder had been committed. And I was like, oh my God. But when the time came for him to fly back, neither one of us wanted him to go. He didn't want me coming into the airport, so we said our goodbyes at the car. And I was bawling. I was crying. And he told me to make sure when I got home to check my bottom dresser drawer. And I was like, okay. And I left and drove back home. And the first thing I did was go in to check the bottom dresser drawer. And inside it was his United States Marine Corps sweatshirt, folded. I had worn it most of the time that he was at the house. And he had left it for me. He had bought me, while we were out there too, a beautiful pair of silver hoop earrings when we had gone to the harbor. And I wore them constantly. Well, we had made all of these plans about when he was going to be able to fly back out, because it was easier since I had 3 kids, for him to come here than me to go there. And then when I could possibly come out, you know, and be able to leave the kids with my mom or their father or whatever. And about 5 or 6 days later, he calls me and tells me I need to find a place for him to live. And I went, what? What are you talking about? And he's like, well, I've packed up my truck and I'm driving out and I'm moving to Maryland. And I was like, what? And he said, yep. He told me he couldn't live without me. Do you still feel that way, honey? Do you want to plead the fifth right now? So,
Let's go send you some Swedish fish.
yeah,
online.
he sent me 3 pounds. He found out that Swedish fish were my favorite snack, candy. And was it that you didn't even know what they were?
No,
was
I had no idea.
Yeah,
Never
he
heard
had
of them.
never heard of Swedish fish. And then I get a package in the mail of 3 pounds of Swedish fish that he had found online and had shipped to me from this candy company. He was very much a romantic back in the day. Very much a romantic. Atlas has killed that. Atlas destroyed any romance in this house. Oh woo. He's asleep. I can feel him snoring on my legs.
Well, and that's the thing is, remember, I had this thing pushed up against the
Yeah.
table. It's like 2.5 thumb widths away from the table now. So I
because he
keep
keeps
checking
pushing it.
the
Yeah.
camera to make sure it's focused on
Yeah.
you
Well, he
painting.
wants to make sure he's part of the video too.
Well, he's too far under the table.
So, I found him a place to stay. It was about half a mile from my house. And
Doug!
yep, he was renting a room in a house from a guy named Doug. And no, we don't bark about Doug. Doug was a nice guy. Stop. Doug was nice. And
Bubba. It was just somebody closing their door outside.
He didn't move in until after he came home from the hospital. Kirk suffered a cerebral hemorrhage. He burst an aneurysm in his head.
Oh my God. Now you're completely out of frame.
In February of 2006.
This is the best video Everest.
And he couldn't do stairs, and he needed 24/7 care. And I was a stay-at-home mom with the kids. So, and I didn't have stairs in my apartment.
Just the ones to the door.
Yeah, just the ones to get from outside inside.
And I could crawl, so.
Yeah. So that's when he moved in. On our 1-year anniversary from when we met, he made me dinner, steak and lobster. No, steak. Do we have steak and lobster or steak and shrimp scampi? I can't remember.
Surf and turf.
Yeah, we had.
So it should have been steak and lobster.
And lobster. For dinner, and he gave me a sapphire diamond. Oh, I don't have a. Oh wow, I haven't put my rings back on since the hospital.
Yeah, when we took them off.
Yeah, I had to take them off.
Tests.
But they. He had a sapphire and diamond.
I know exactly where they are, though. So.
Okay, good. He had a sapphire and diamond engagement ring and asked me to marry him. And we got married 4 months later on November 17th of 2006. And here we are getting ready to celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary. So there is the story of Heather and Kirk.
Oh my God. I'm about to hurt somebody.
Guys, I apologize for the technical issues here.
Well, you know, if you didn't have a fat dog.
Oh, you kicked him. He's up now.
Good. I don't even know.
Trying to get everything situated here.
All right, that should work.
All right. Well, we've been going for over an hour. So I'm going to do one last question. This one's just for me. Wendy, who is also a member of the Diamond Tribe, of the Diamond Tier, asked me what's been my favorite kit to work on so far. Oh, favorite kit to work on so far.
I do have something to share, though.
Oh.
See this? Static sucks.
Give me that. I want to show you a trick. You got to open it. I can't open them. This is why I'm not working out of baggies. Other than the fact that I hate working out of baggies. All right. So you take it. Breathe heavy.
I'll leave that to other people.
And there you go. No more static.
We'll see.
You just have to make sure that when you breathe that you don't inadvertently inhale, because then you will inhale drills into your mouth. Don't ask me how I know that. So.
All right, sorry.
No, that's okay. So my favorite kit. Well, for the longest time, I would have said that my favorite kit to work on was Four Crows of the Apocalypse. Remember how much I loved doing that kit?
That was up on the wall for forever.
Yeah, from Cheryl Baker, the Diamond Art Club version. Personally, the Craftably version I think sucks. I don't like their rendering of it at all. The Diamond Art Club version is way better and looks way more like the actual artwork. But since we've been doing Mystery Mania, which is an event that I run in my Patreon group, where we work on mystery kits all year long, and you have to put release papers down. They're randomly numbered. You can't have consecutive numbers in a row. And then every week we have a wheel spin of 5 numbers, and those are the only sections you can work on. So it's spread out over time, but you get to see the mystery come alive in bits and pieces. Well, I've done Mystery Kit 51, the Molly Harrison, which was a gift from a former tribe member, Kay, who owns Wolfgazer Studios. Her shop is closed right now. She's on vacation on Etsy, but she makes amazing project bags. And I do have a discount code to her store. But she gave that to me. It was one of my unicorns. And that was the first Mystery Mania kit I did. And I absolutely love that. It is hanging on my bedroom wall, which I have not seen since December 20th. So one day I will see it again. And then it would be a hard toss-up because I really loved working on the Bonnie White mystery kit, which I completed. And I do get to see that one because I had it dry mounted and it's laying on my dining room table. So every time I go to the kitchen or the bathroom, I pass by it and I sometimes stop and take a look at it. So those have been probably my absolute favorite kits to work on. I really like doing landscape type kits like the Bonnie White one, where there's the little, every square opens something new. And it was really cool. Remember what the last square was the sign that said Salem and stuff on it. In the mystery kit, that was just, and I had no idea. So it was definitely not intentional. It was just how it kind of worked out, and it was really cool. So that answers that question. So next week we'll get into, I have a few more. If you would have a question you'd like to ask, please go to my Facebook group and find the post. I'm actually going to pin it to the featured section right now. I just did that. So you can go to the featured section of my Facebook group, Diamonds and Dragonflies, the community one, not the business page. And Gloria Isabel Lopez Arrayes posted it, the question, for me. So you can go there and leave a question and we will answer more next week. What is coming up on the channel? I will have a February month in review. That will be my other video for next week. And then there will be another whip and chat. Part of the month in review, I'm going to kind of combine that with what my projects for March are. I'm taking on a little bit bigger projects for March. And I'm taking on some square projects for March. So we're going to see how that works out. But I guess that's about it for tonight. Do not click away yet. Before the end, song that comes on, I will have some videos of Atlas and Rhea with me. So take care, guys. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment below, and if you haven't already, I hope you decide to subscribe and stick around for the rest of my road to recovery and all the great things that hopefully 2026 is going to bring me after all. So take care, everybody, and enjoy Atlas and Rhea. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.
What you doing? You gonna tell everybody who you are? Say, hi, my name is Rhea, and this is my mom. And see my favorite human? I see bees. So I have to take care of her because she's broken. So this is how we do it. We call this Mama's pouch because I can lay her safely without waking her. Yeah, I can. And I get to do this every now and then. You want to see my belly? There it is. It's very cute and very pettable. Yeah, it's a very pettable belly. Yeah. I'm the quiet dog. You never hear me in the videos because I don't bark. I leave all that nonsense up to my evil brother, Woo. I'm the quiet ninja assassin. But my number one goal in life is to protect my mom. Right, Dad? has to watch him because I'm not always sure he's doing the right thing. Okay, he's safe. I can go back to cuddling my mom. Hi, baby girl. Yes. I talk to my mom because my vocal cords don't work. That's why I don't box. So I telepathically tell her what I want to say. And so she says it. All right. Well, we have to film a video. Are you done now? I had to say something, didn't I? Hey, you. You know, I'm supposed to have my right arm propped up on there. Hey. Can I have my pillow back? You know, this is what I get for being nice to you and letting you up here and get your ear. Are you going to turn and look at anybody? Atlas. Atlas. Is that Daddy? Oh, I see your nose. Is it Daddy? Is it a Papa's? He's going to come down and yell at you to get off my pillow. He is. And you don't really care, do you? Nope. In the world according to Woo, Woo owns all the pillows.